Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Tony Facino. I'm Group President for Construction Industries here at Caterpillar. And our purpose is clear, to build a better and more sustainable world. I'm going to talk to you today about how we're going to grow and how we're going to do it profitably. Construction Industries serves markets around the globe. You can see on this slide, we're everywhere from general construction to heavy, industrial waste, road construction, quarry and aggregates, in addition to agriculture and landscape. Now, the good thing about this slide is there's a lot of variety here. There's a variety of customers, there's a variety of applications. They need a variety of solutions, they need a variety of products to solve their toughest challenges. And again, the good news is we're here to do that. And having done that for the last several years, we've maintained a strong financial position. You can see on the left-hand side of the screen, we've taken that top line from 23 to 25 billion, and we moved that bottom line as margins have expanded from 17 to 24%. Now, we've done that a number of ways. Keep your eye on the right-hand side of the screen. We've expanded that product line. That next generation of products has served these customers very well that you saw on that previous slide. In addition, we've added an entirely new compact track loader lineup that's been very well received by the market. Also, building our own telehandlers. Generally, when we build it and do it our way, we tend to be the most successful. We've added that to the portfolio. Also, strengthened services, an additional 400,000 connected and reporting assets, and more than doubling the number of customer value agreements. We'll talk about CVAs, customer value agreements, as we roll through the presentation. Wrap around that 3D grade-ready options across much of the product portfolio, and you bring that technology heavily into focus. Those elements have helped us deliver those results on the left-hand side. And the future is very bright. Joe talked about this plus 25% in global construction spend. Very good news from a CI perspective. But let's dive into a little bit more detail. Let's talk about that residential construction piece at plus 25%. That residential construction, the urbanization, housing needed for densification of populations. Our building construction products team and those products and solutions they provide serves that very well. They're on the sites, preparing the house pads, getting things ready. Plus 51% in rental. Customers don't always buy, sometimes they need to rent. They need to supplement their work. The products that we provide feed the dealer rental fleets as they grow that to satisfy the customer need that's out there. Move to the right-hand side of the screen for non-resi. We talk about non-resi quite a bit. Non-resi building and civil. Non-resi building plus 15%, that's civil infrastructure plus 35%. Remember that non-resi building, that's the factories, the hospitals, the schools, that long list of non-residential project takes place, that we're always right there on those big dirt jobs. Hits our core and larger product line very intensely. And you can't miss the bottom right, plus 35 on the civil and infrastructure. Right there with our big tractors, dozers, and loaders, the roads, the bridges, the tunnels, the waterways, everything you needed to get here, everything you're going to need to go home was built by that larger product line, and we're out there every day. And that's positioned us very uniquely. It's positioned us uniquely to solve our customers' toughest set of challenges. Let's talk about some of the reasons why. That total cost of ownership you see on the center of this slide, TCO, a lot of times the customers refer to that, they need the lowest total cost of ownership. That ensures their profitability, success, and gives them the ability to grow. That's been at the heart of Caterpillar for the last 100 years. It's going to be at the heart for the next 100 years. Also, product support down the center. 150 plus dealers around the world, basically serving every country. They're right there local. They know the people. They know the customers, the contractors. They know what's being bid, let. They know what's going on. They support that with the largest service technician population in the world. Educated and trained by us with the service tools and processes that we've perfected over time and continue to advance and hand them these new and different tools to do it better and faster. Also on the right-hand side of the screen, that technology suite. A technology suite we've built over many years and continue to pour the resources into to lead stronger with the technology piece. From the onboard technologies, whether it be autonomous, semi-autonomous, some of the features to help operators, and the offboard, a lot of the digital technologies that I'll dive into and you're going to hear Bob dive into a little bit later this morning. All of that built across a foundation of 300 plus models and growing, along with 1.4 million connected and reporting assets. And again, that digital and technology innovation that we do every day. With that, I believe strongly in our 2030 goal of 1.25 times sales to users. We can grow that to 1.25 times from where we were in 24. And we're going to do that across a base of commercial excellence, the advanced technology leadership, and the integrated solutions you see there in the bottom left-hand side. Joe and Jason touched on some of this. I'm going to dive into all three of those as we talk about what it means for CI. So let's start with the commercial excellence piece, how we're aligning, scaling, and how we're going to use that to grow. Essentially, it's all built around the customer. The industry itself has been accused many times, and still is today, of being somewhat product-centric. This product, that product. We've been a little bit that way. But right now, we're dramatically reshaping the commercial organization on the left-hand side of the screen in that first box. You see a world map. You got the gray, you got the yellow. We're going to reshape the commercial organization to focus on two separate areas. One is that core region in gray, the growth region in yellow. When you go into those regions of the world and you talk to customers and you sit with them, whether I'm sitting with customers in Zambia or Southeast China or Australia, India, South America, Europe, North America, wherever it is, a lot of times they have very unique buying, bidding, oftentimes payment is different in core than it is in growth. It requires a unique and reshaped commercial approach to address the customer's needs. So we're creating a customer solutions core commercial organization and a customer solutions growth organization, each led by a senior vice president, focused exclusively on their individual regions. So they can give that intense customer focus and bring that back and be there every day together with the CAT dealers, again, solving the customer's toughest challenges as they go forward. In addition, down the center of the screen, you'll see a new customer approach. You see the rental sign. You can see basically a dealer's yard there, a lot of compact machines there. You got a customer talking to a dealer sales rep. One of the fastest growing segments, that compact construction area, right? Very positive for us. Those customers need a retail-friendly experience, and we're transforming, we're tailoring that to meet those needs. But it's not just the physical presence you see here. We are transforming that. We're also transforming that online presence. They need speed, ease of use, information. They need to be able to buy it and rent it and do it fast. Very much a characteristic of they as a customer set. And as we tailor our solutions, we're going to provide that and satisfy that to them. Again, a transformation of that go-to-market strategy as we bring that retail, rental, online, and physical together, because they need a pretty unique set of solutions from a retail perspective. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you see services commitment. Customers like predictability. Customers like commitments. It takes a pretty unique set of tools to be able to commit. Fortunately, I've talked about, and I'm going to talk more about, a lot of those tools and skills we have. We can provide outcome-based commitments to our customer base. Together with our dealers, we can commit to exactly when you'll get the part. We can commit to when that machine will be up and running and provide hard timelines so your work is more predictable over time, which is really key from a customer perspective. But it's best to walk through, well, how do you do that? Logical question you might want to ask. And this goes a little bit to the customer value agreements. This is going to build off of customer value agreements. We're going to talk about data. We're going to talk about the technology tools. But let's start with the data first. Obviously, you need to harness that data that comes from those connected and reporting assets, our SOS analysis, that deep, rich information that comes from the analysis of every fluid compartment on a machine. We know those machines better than anybody in the world because we designed them. We know the chemistry of every single piece of material in that machine. We know exactly how those machines behave, and the SOS provides that information so we can add value to the customer. Along with all the inspections that take place around the world every single day through the CAD Inspect app, that helps us understand the condition of the machines we've got running around the world. When you combine all that into a data set, from a value add perspective, you can begin scaling and scale the recommendations to the customers. But that's not that easy unless you have these predictive analytics powered by a number of AI tools, as you can imagine, advancing very rapidly just in the last 6 months compared to the last 2 years, advancing very rapidly what we can predict and draw from that data set. As we hand that information over to the CAT-led condition monitoring team, working together with our dealers, we can provide tremendous value out to the customer base. And the important thing is, it's timely. If it's after the fact, it doesn't really matter. If it's timely and predictive and proactive in terms of how you can prevent and use maintenance to be preventative, how you can plan the rebuild or plan the repair, it's an entirely different situation than if it's after the fact. When you do that, loyalty grows, the customer gets a more consistent quality experience over time. Because again, they want predictability. They'd like to know what's going to happen today. None of us like when we don't know that. And when you do that, it's a lot easier to uphold these exceptional commitments and make these service commitments that I mentioned. Commit to when the part's there. Commit to when the machine will be back up and running. Commit to an availability number of the machine. Again, so the customer knows, and ultimately maximizing that total customer value. The base that has been laid here and other tools that we're working on exaggerates and scales across from left to right, ending in that customer value piece. But I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm going to introduce a video. JP Excavating uses customer value agreements. They use them for several years. As you listen to the video, listen to some of the key words they mention. Listen to some of the benefits they articulate. And then listen as he summarizes really what it means to them from a business perspective. Let's listen to JP Excavating.
JP Excavating was started in 1993. We've got approximately 130 employees running somewhere between 80 and 90 pieces of equipment. We do everything from underground, highway construction, heavy civil, commercial, paving, crushing, custom crushing. We pride ourselves in doing things unique, different than everybody else, trying to look for the next innovative thing to make us a little better, make us a little faster. I've been using the CAT CVA program going on 7 years. And I started out initially over 60 machines, and they prioritize uptime, they prioritize service, they're willing to stock parts, they're willing to do custom things to help you be successful. 2 weeks ago, I had a CVA done. I woke up, I had a report with pictures. I had a 982 differential with a big chunk of metal from a tooth in there. We were able to not continue running it, get a replacement machine, and probably save several $1,000s in future damage. Caterpillar is more than just an equipment provider. All the tools they offer, from VisionLink to custom service agreements or support in different ways, they're much more than what you would expect.
We're going to hold on this slide for just 1 second. What were those key words he said? better, faster, over several years, 60 plus machines, more than you would expect. What was one of the most important points that he made there? When he woke up. When he woke up, he had the report. When he woke up, there was already a plan for a replacement machine to go out there to make sure he could stay up and running. He wasn't doing a lot of worrying while he was asleep. That was being done for him behind the scenes in those customer value agreements. So again, tremendous value added with the CVAs. Let's move to the advanced technology piece and how we're pushing forward on that in the job sites. And it's about the job sites of the future. There is a big element of the job site today because you look across the left-hand side of the screen, top to bottom, safety, productivity, and labor. Most common customer pain points as I travel around the world and sit with customers: safety, productivity, labor. Doesn't matter where you are, what language, what country you're in. Safety, productivity, labor. We've got solutions today across safety. People detect cameras, object detect and object avoidance tools, along with 360 vision systems on the machines. The productivity side, you'll see in the technologies, we've got productivity in our Vision Link. We've got the next generation of products that actually commits to productivity fuel consumption combinations, does very well from a customer perspective. A lot of operator assist and semi-autonomous features that helps you load the bucket, helps you dig to slope, helps you go to grade autonomously and easier. Takes that less skilled operator, makes them more skilled, and we've been scaling this across the industry. So that safety, productivity, labor comes together, and these tools improve each one of those. It's about stitching together those tools, the digital and the physical world, and providing that total job site solutions to the customer. As I set that up, and Bob comes up a little bit later, he'll weave that together into the future and bring in some of the AI tools we're using to do that even stronger and more going forward. But again, the best way to get an example, the best way to understand of, well, exactly how do these technologies apply, what happens in the field, how does it apply to the customer or the operator, is to listen to CBM talk about a unique problem they had, how they used a set, not one, a set of customer solutions to solve their biggest problem. Let's hear from CBM.
Construtora Barbosa Melo began 67 years ago in road building. Over time, the company expanded into large-scale infrastructure and mining projects. What has never changed are the values that guide us. From the very beginning, Caterpillar has been part of this journey. Today, over 90% of our fleet is CAT. For CBM, Caterpillar is not just a supplier, it is a strategic partner. The reliability of the equipment, the strength of after-sales support, and the consistent attention to our needs have been fundamental to our success.
Our journey intensified when we faced the challenge of operating in high-risk environments where human presence was not allowed. Caterpillar brought us machine control and 3D system, a cloud platform for fleet and asset management, the Vision Link, and CAT Command, a fully integrated cockpit with all the functionalities of his equipment. These partnerships enable us to expand our fleet of remote operating machines and make the Earth movement of more than 3 million cubic meters with total safety. Today we operate the largest fleet and the highest number of cockpits in the world. We use Vision Link to provide real-time data to plan maintenance, reducing costs and increasing fleet availability. This relationship of trust and innovation is what prepares us for the future challenges, keeping us competitive and reinforce our purpose to build a better world.
So Guillermo said it very well there at the close, building a better, more sustainable world. What was the important point though? They're doing it safely. They had a situation where people just couldn't be there. It wasn't a safe environment. They took our solution and put it in place. He called them cockpits. They're basically operator stations, remotely located operators doing the work from an office somewhere. Could be anywhere in the world, really. Also, what did he do? He scaled them. There was one cockpit, one operator station after another, a row, and if you look closely, there was another row behind those operators, scaling up the number of operators they had in a safe, comfortable, air-conditioned, quiet, clean environment, as opposed to what they'd have been challenged with. And what were they using? You saw a demo, they had 3D grade running on the screen. They also were using, you couldn't see it necessarily, but the semi-autonomous features that enable remote operation from a distance, bringing a number of tools together to help them be successful. Let's talk and go a little bit deeper even of how you bring all that together. Actual customer job site. Customer had a bit of an issue. 5 different sites. 35 machines across 5 different sites. Running about 75,000 machine hours per year and needed help. Difficulty managing it themselves, and they needed predictable cost, improved uptime across their fleet to get their work done, and also reduce that total cost of ownership that I introduced earlier in the slide. And they came to Caterpillar, a total site solution that we brought to them. Machine cost per hour solution with availability commitments, like I talked about earlier, managed by Caterpillar. So this total site solution across all these machines, the many hours running in a day, what did we do? A number of elements on here. You've got some more detail in your reading packs. Operator training, machine rebuilds, a big focus on safety, right sizing the fleet, visualing productivity, condition monitoring, proactive maintenance and repair across the entire fleet. But the most important box, bottom center yellow, weekly collaboration. Us on the site with the dealer sitting with the customer, talking about the challenges, how we're going to lower TCO, how we're going to optimize the fleet, maximize productivity, ensure safety is number one. Doing that together, again, for a total site solution. These have been very successful around the world, and as we scale these up with our advanced service and technology capabilities, it positions us very well for that 1.25 times sales to user growth I talked about earlier. Because in the end, the customer got what they needed. 88% availability, lower total cost, operator incidents reduced, and again, that predictability in the bottom right, predictability, something that customers really, really want and need. Because their toughest challenges need somebody to be solved by. We can solve those customers' toughest challenges. We can deliver, and I'm confident we can deliver the 1.25 times sales to user growth using the elements on the right-hand side of the screen. The commercial excellence piece, leading with the advanced technology, and those integrated solutions, taking those to the customer together with our broad dealer network. But that's not the end. There's a lot more. Come see us at ConExpo. It's a handful of months away. There's more to see. There's more products being launched. There's more services, details, and strategies that you're going to see us launch there. Come see the AI. Come see the product portfolio. Come see the service technologies. Come see us demonstrate that in the operator station, live and on site. We'd love to host you. I hope you're there. Talk to Alex, get a time scheduled. I look forward to seeing you, and I want to thank you for your time today. I'm going to turn it over to Alex as we get ready for a break.